Right, well, we are back here at, thank you sir, thank you Will, back at the Crossways, one of our sponsors of course for Newcastle Town. We're very glad to be able to host people here, and it's another podcast with my good learned colleague Martyn. Good to see you, my man.
Hello.
And today, Dan Cockerline. Welcome
Sweet
to the
Cockerline,
pod, my man.
Sweet. Come on.
We might come back to that one later.
Yeah, we may.
A little bit of a revisit. So, Dan, let's start by looking at your kind of trip journey to Newcastle and back again, because it's been interesting. Started off at Nantwich.
Yeah.
You come to us and we're like, we welcome you with open arms. Then before we know it, you've done one, gone up somewhere.
Family show.
Family show, thank you. Now you're back. So what people want to know is, and I need to get my prop out here at this point.
That's in a folder as well, isn't it?
Was it the camaraderie of the team? Was it the majesty of the Severn Trent and Mersey Canal? Or was it these little bad boys? The famous Staffordshire oatcake.
Did you say what are they?
You said, he says, what are they? Hang on a minute,
Well, it definitely wasn't
these
these because I didn't have any knowledge of it before. So yeah, so you're gonna have to educate me on that one.
Well, listen, lads, teammates of
Yeah,
I'm a little
absolutely.
bit disappointed.
Yeah, I blame the
Your man
teammates.
here,
Yeah.
he scored, 5-6 goals already, and no one's told him what a
Yeah,
Staffordshire
I know,
oatcake is.
I blame the teammates. Shocking.
I should.
Is that a gift or is that just a prop?
It can have
It's a gift now,
them.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Got away, haven't I?
I'll pass them on.
Yeah,
I think what you need to do is, right, you're at the pod on Thursday night at Crossways, our lovely sponsor, and I've got these oatcakes, now local lads. What am I supposed to do with these? What do I put in them? What do I do with them?
What do you put with?
I'm a cheese and bacon man, really, myself.
Sausage and cheese.
Sausage and cheese.
Sounds all very breakfasty.
It
Is
is
it breakfast delicacy then?
It's a breakfast delicacy is an interesting word. I'll maybe have a word with a gaffer about dietary habits before. But hey, listen, I heard Jimmy Greaves, the very late Eltel Venables, obviously passed away recently. Those two played together, and then they're driving up the game, and Greavesy would stop off for a full Sunday roast, and then go and bang 5 in the onion bag, and they'd win 7-1.
Plenty of calories.
So,
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, I have egg and beans and toast before game. That's my whatever time we play, Tuesday night, Saturday. So if I supplement out the toast, maybe, and then add in
Couple of
the
those,
Staffordshire okay, we
yeah.
could be talking then, couldn't we?
I think we could.
Yeah.
So I think you got training tonight, obviously after this. That you've got to keep our eye on the time. We're not going to make you late, but I think you need to be talking to all the local lads.
Yeah,
the old VDLs.
Yeah,
say to them,
the VDLs.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'll be my first point of contact with the oatcakes, and if they can't shed any light, I may have to move on.
If they can't shed any light, then I'm throwing them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not good enough. That is not. No, they'll know.
Yeah.
They'll know.
Yeah.
It is very much a local delicacy.
Indeed.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Because I wouldn't. They come out of my fridge. I've had 2 this morning. They've been in the freezer. The way it says 28th of November on there.
Best before the 27th.
Yes, they've been in the freezer.
Okay.
It's all right, but I wouldn't recommend. Go have them before Saturday.
Not before.
Yeah.
But bacon and cheese is my recommendation.
Bacon and cheese.
Also, this is going to be quite. This could be quite
Controversial.
Thank you.
Okay.
Obviously I roll, put my filling, and then I put beans on top. Baked beans.
I can get on board with that. I'm looking on board on that.
It's not.
Roll and then beans.
I put the beans on the top. Hot baked beans on the top of my oatcakes.
No, do you roll your oatcake? Do you roll it with
the filling,
beans on top?
And then I put the beans on top.
It's like a breakfast enchilada, but it's like Staffordshire version, isn't it?
That's odd.
You're getting this. You are getting this.
I like my food.
I think
Right.
that's weird.
Well, we were trying to think of a strategy of how we keep you at the club, and I think, bang, we have just found it.
Until he tries them.
We have just found it.
I think so.
All joking aside, Dan, obviously you're back with us now, and I think you enjoyed yourself before you were here, and you got a chance. You thought something might happen differently. It didn't quite pan out. Nobody has a problem with anyone that wants to go and try something out. It didn't, but you're here, and you're making the most of things again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just as you say, you go places and it doesn't work out. I went there and I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I thought it was a great opportunity to go and play in front of great fans.
Yeah.
I was there when I was a kid.
So I didn't know that.
So I was there.
So you already had a connection.
So I was there from 12 to 16 in the Centre of Excellence there, and then I moved on to Sheffield United after that. So I sort of had that sort of connection with the club anyway, and I just didn't enjoy it as much as I did when I was here. And I think I'm 27 now, and what's important for me is being in a good dressing room, enjoying my football. And that's exactly what I did here.
And despite all of those things being important to you, you come back.
I think. Yeah, it's a horrible lot. Yeah, but you know, and that's important to me. And I got back on the phone to Paul when it made it possible to come back. And you know, I'm delighted to be here. And again, you can see him enjoying my football on the pitch.
Yeah,
so long may it continue.
Yeah. Yeah,
100%.
and you're doing the thing you love most, which is scoring goals.
Absolutely. I've got a good amount. I'd like to get more.
Yeah.
I think I can get more. Whether that's getting more chances or me putting them away, it's a bit of a combination of both.
Yeah, of course. Don't go blaming your teammates all of the time.
No, absolutely not. You know, it's I think I can get a lot more than I'm getting already, which is which I've got my goal set on a number. And I'll work towards that until the last game of the season.
Well, we spoke before this, didn't we, about potential prizes on goals. But you might get a woolly hat wrapped up and
say
Newcastle Town as your incentive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's a big incentive. Don't often get people as good looking as yours truly modelling them. But,
you do model the hell out of that hat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. I knew I could rely on you.
Always got you, mate.
I'll send that check later to you. So did you have much experience of I know obviously now to start the season, but you weren't playing in this division, were you, before? Is that right?
No, it was Step 3, so it was the one above.
The one above. So
I've sort of played Step 3 now on and off since I was 17, really.
Right.
When
we hope you play Step 3 for us next season.
Yeah, well, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But every game's a tough challenge in this league. We've seen that, so that'll be a tough ask, but one that could be doable. You never know come the end of the season. If you're in the pack in January, February, you never know what can happen.
Well, that's the thing. I think looking at it now, obviously we had that win Saturday. Scrappy win. Let's be honest about it. I mean, we played better and lost.
Absolutely.
But it is about results at the end of the day. It's results business. So, I mean, we're getting towards the sort of halfway mark. Got a little bit to go before we get there. But so we've played most of the sides in the division now. What's your interpretation of the league in terms of the competitiveness, if you like?
Oh, it's competitive, definitely. It's a level playing field. I think every team has good players, so you can pick players in every team, and you go, yeah, they're good. You know, they can play a step higher if they had the chance to, or it fell right for them. I think a lot of teams set up the same. I think a lot of teams are direct. They work hard. They have a physicality about them. But I think anyone's beatable on the day, and I think anyone thinks that about us as well. We can beat these today, and we think the same. I think whoever turns up with, it implements the game plan to the closest that they've worked on in the week, or that's talked about before the game. The team that makes the least mistakes, and the team that's most consistent on the day is going to win the game. I think there's individual quality, yes, but I think it's down to the team that makes the least mistakes and is solid and compact. Because I think you'll always get chances at this level. That's how I believe it. I believe at any level you always get chances, but you'll get more at this level, I think. And if you can eliminate mistakes, try and keep as many clean sheets or one-goal games as possible, I think you've always got a chance of winning more football games than you lose. I mean, when you come to the end of the season, you'll be up there, and you never know what happens.
So I'll just touch on this, and I'm not doing this to massage his ego because you don't flipping need it. But you're talking about making mistakes and the importance of certain things in tight games, and it's like last Saturday, Slenny helped us out big style with like 2 one-on-one saves inside the first 20 minutes. And I suppose as a striker, if you've been denied by the keeper twice in the first 20 minutes, you're like, are you happy you've got the chances, or are you bloody thinking we should be back in front now? And because I mean, it must be he's a dominant side when he's between the sticks, isn't he?
Yeah, his quality, and I think he's one of the best at this level. That of all the teams we've played, I look at Slinny and I go, yeah, he's a good cat. You know what I mean? I'm happy he's between the sticks.
The shield.
But I think going to your point is being a striker in those situations, I think you don't really think about the ones you should have scored until after the game. I always think I'll get another one. And
Got that mentality through the game where you're not letting it.
So even if it's a 2-yard sitter or it's a good save by the keeper, I'm always thinking I'll score the next one.
Yeah.
I'll get one more chance. Even if it's the 89th minute, I'll get one more chance. I'll score. And I think as a striker, you've got to have that mentality because you never know when the next chance is coming, and you've got to be switched on mentally more than anything. So when it does come and lands at your feet, that you put it in the back of the net, and that's your job for the team.
I'm going to take you back to Kidsgrove away.
Yes.
Now you talk about a striker's mentality.
Yeah.
Oh my! If you've got a striker's mentality, because we obviously, they're top of the league. They've not lost a game all season. They're our local rival, or one of our local rivals. And we go there and we win 2-1 thanks to a goal from you, like a minute from time. If I'm one of your teammates, as you're sort of bearing down on goal, thinking, just swearing. You don't score that. I'm not sure if you'll get in the team the following week, frankly.
I remember saying at the time, don't shoot. It's like, and then he shoots.
That's strikers, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Incredibly frustrating, selfish, but match winners.
Too right.
And you look at the top level, all the way down to our level, levels below. Always your top strikers are at the top of the scoring charts. They're frustrating because they should pass when they should shoot quite a few times, but then they're the one who scores a goal. So,
I was just thinking, if that's me on the edge of the area, like, if you don't score this, I don't care about if you think you're getting another opportunity. I'm going to batter 10 barrels out of you.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't even think about passing either, just in case that makes you feel.
I've never played that game. I'm not sure. I can't remember if those three were lined up on the area waiting for a square ball. I'm not sure it made them feel any better.
I'm sure if you watch the video back and the fixtures, I'm sure they're pretty happy and in jubilation after I put it in the net.
Oh yeah,
It took a little while to come round, maybe. But I do remember that very fondly.
Very fondly.
So you're obviously now with Tommy up at the top of the scoring tables, I think. So you're thinking about displacing our captain. I mean, I don't know how that's going to go down.
Interesting.
He always likes that mention to change you. He goes like, top goal scorer. Who's the top goal scorer? He likes to drop into conversation.
To be fair to him, you play the role he does in the team. That is a decent achievement.
It's a great return.
Because he's not our most forward player, but he's obviously someone that could look after himself in both boxes.
Yeah, he's imposing, isn't he? And he's brave and he's confident in the air. And you can see that with a lot of his goals coming set pieces. And when you've got that weapon in the team, you've obviously got the long throw Stubbsy. You've got great delivery from corners. You've got lads who are 6'3" plus. You've got 3-4 of us. So you've always got a chance from set pieces.
In the armoury.
Absolutely. And set pieces are massive in football. It's, if you're struggling to create chances on the day, you always get set pieces.
Again, you've still got that.
It's only going to take
Jared
one well.
Absolutely.
I think the difference is this year that I think maybe previously we relied on that really heavily. Like we only ever looked likely to score from set pieces. Whereas I think that's better this year. I still think that there's room for improvement. There's always going to be room for improvement. If you're 11th in the league, there is definitely room for improvement. But it is, as a sort of spectating experience, it's more enjoyable, I think. We think like the potential of seeing some goals is kind of there, although it's slightly wavered the last couple. So we need to get back to that kind of. Well,
you wonder if Stubbsy's going to get back in the team now because he's had a game out and we've won.
He's quite handy on Twitter, though, wasn't he?
He was pretty good on
Twitter.
Twitter.
I saw some of his tweets. He was good.
Yeah.
He was quick.
I don't think
quick on it as well.
As they say, the kids at school now. I'm not so sure about how he'd score on the old SPAG. That's spelling, punctuation, something, grammar.
Something grammar.
What's the A stand for? Sue? Spelling, punctuation. Oh, it is and. Oh, that works.
By process of elimination.
I had to ask a teacher. I just asked a teacher. She was yes, I don't know how he'd do on that because with my bloody journalist brain on, I'm like, I find it very hard looking at spelling mistakes. It does make my a little part of me dies.
Yeah.
But he did, and I love the old picture with Slimmy in the bar, in the
bar,
changing room.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm not sure what his head was protecting, but I'm glad it was there.
Yeah. I don't know who sits behind him, but they're thanking him later, aren't they?
So, well, I'd say if it had been a smaller head, we could have. No, I won't go there.
Let's not go there.
We'll not go there. We've only got 10
We'll never
minutes.
know. We'll never know.
So, I want to just talk very briefly, Dan, if I may, about home and away. Away form, absolutely brilliant. If our home form was average, we'd be in the playoffs now.
Yeah.
Apart from the obvious of teams sit in when they come to us, because away teams do that most places, you know.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I
Did you see it?
think it's a little bit of mentality and psychology. I think it's just something subconsciously that, like for example, the 1-0 against Vauxhall. I think we hung on to that really early because we scored early.
Yeah.
Because we're like, we don't want to lose points at home. We've got in a winning position.
Yeah.
And we're just going to sit back and defend and hope they don't score. I mean, at times we did come out.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a bit of a psychology thing now that because we haven't got a few good results at home. It's like we know our home form isn't great. We go into games thinking we're going to win, but if there's a little setback, we don't maybe a little bit of game management as well. We don't slow the game down. We don't speed it up at the right times. We don't play the right areas at the right times at home. Don't respond to how they're coming on us or if they're sitting. I think it's a combination of things, but the psychology of it's massive.
Does that pressure build the fact that I think before Saturday we haven't won at home since August, and then obviously home fixtures keep coming, and we're not getting the results. Does each one?
You look at
pressure and
the fixtures we've had, isn't it? We've had a lot of home games recently, and we even said in changing room before Saturday, it's like, this is a massive game. This could be a turning point in terms of this is where we win this and go on a little run, or we lose sight of that pack if we don't get a result, and our home fall is going to be our downfall. And you don't want to be saying we could have been in the playoffs or we could have been up there, but our home form is rubbish. That's where your fortresses. That's where all the best teams in the world, all the best teams in this league, league above, league below, is where they build the foundation. And that's where we need to improve. And certainly the psychology and game management is where we do need to get better. And we are working on getting better. And in training, we do talk about it, and we do try and implement stuff you see when we do the video stuff. But it's just we've got one now. Can we get another result at home? And then it's just building on 3 unbeaten, 4 unbeaten at home. Even if it's not a win, it's a draw. So if we don't win, we don't lose.
We're not losing ground. Is it good in a way though? That myself always looking for the positives. Always.
Absolutely.
It's good in a way that the away form, which is quite often people's downfall, we just as we are carry on. If we can solve the home problem, suddenly we're moving in that direction. It's almost better to have that problem than it is the other in a way. Well, as I say, it's a problem because by talking about it in this way, we're almost exacerbating it and making it worse.
I think
the thing is, we got the win.
We've turned that corner.
I think it's an exciting problem to have. I would say because it's very fixable and very quickly fixable by a couple of good results. And then it's like flick switched. Okay, we're up there again. We've got 2 wins at home. We're now on 24 points or 27 points. We'll look above us, or we're 3 points off playoffs now. And as I said, once you get to January and you're in there, anything can happen. So it's we need to fix it quick, but it's exciting that we can fix that, and there's still a long way to go in the season.
And we've got those home games coming. We've got home Saturday and home on Tuesday in the club as well, so a couple of home games there.
Momentum builder, absolutely.
But do we think, so we've got Prescott, top of the table, on Saturday.
I think we'll do that.
Oh,
confident.
I think
we'll do it.
We've gone to Kidsgrove when they were top of the table and got a result there. So it's almost like that, like your stick to mark with to say, right, we've got experience of going to the top team and we beat them, so we'll do the same again. Is it? Or
different game, different opposition, but it's the mentality thing, isn't it? We've done it once before.
It's always good to be able to look at when you've had success in the past and use that.
Absolutely. And I think because they're top of the table, and I think you've seen they've scored quite a lot of goals in their attacking team. We're defensively quite good. I think they'll come out onto us a little bit more, which might suit us a little bit.
Well, it did help us against Vauxhall. They didn't. I know they're down sort of the lower regions of the division. Well, they didn't. They played as if they were a team who had some confidence about them.
They did, and they came out of us a bit more. Maybe the early goal helped them because they knew they had to score again. Again, but I think from the first whistle, I think Prescott will come out to play and to win the game, primarily attack us, and I think that might suit us a little bit.
Agree. I think
right. We are running short of time, Dan. I know you've got to get off to training. He's got some questions for you in a minute, but I've got one more first. Right, now for this next question, we've got to give a bit of a shout out to one of our top fans, Daniel Nixon, who commented on our match report last week when referring to your winning goal in our 1-0 win over the aforementioned Vauxhall Motors. Cracking finish from Sweet Cockerline. So it made me think, how do you feel about your surname being adapted to a 1960s, 70s crooner's biggest ever hit? And would you like to hear that on the terraces?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the short answer. Why not?
We can adapt the goal scoring music, can't we?
Again,
Yeah,
I think we can.
I think
Might encourage me to score a few more goals. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
well,
Yeah.
it's like, at the moment, we've got, if Felix can come back from his bruised foot, we've got Men Down Under, haven't
Yeah.
we? Men at Work, sorry.
I'm sure we had some more.
We have got. We need to get some more songs in there. But the trouble is, because I do the PA, I've got to master the technology, and that's like I just don't get to the buttons quick enough.
Yeah.
He's your techno man. Well, not techno.
I mean, so
he
outside
said.
the press box.
Yeah.
Maybe you need like a standard operating procedure, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
PA for
Ooh.
or like PA for dummies or something.
Oh, we need something.
Well, it certainly would be. Yeah, I don't know
We
if
have
I
simplified
qualifies
it
have
a
done
lot.
it. I might be a step below that.
We've now only got one amplifier that we need to manage, and we
Oh,
don't even
don't
have to
tell
touch
everybody that, because then they'll
that
go when
pressure?
it doesn't go
You
right.
put pressure on him.
Hey, just return the
He doesn't
favour.
know.
Pressure head.
Pressure is a privilege, is it
Yeah,
not?
absolutely.
Is it not?
Absolutely.
Right, so I'm all done.
Yeah, we've got just a few little bits.
Go and smash it, Martyn.
Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, just your opinion on a few things. So, who would you say is the most skillful player at the club?
Two spring to mind straight away.
Two. Okay.
Danny Edwards and Birksey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who are you calling out? Who stops? Who's
Danny Edwards.
Yeah.
I think Birksey's more direct and he's got that drop of the shoulder, but he's got fantastic feet.
Yeah.
Danny Edwards, I think he's got a bit of flair in him. I mean, I hope he shows in the game soon, because in training you see some of the stuff and you think,
Yeah.
oh, that's...
Please do that on Saturday.
Yeah, so if he is this, I'm going to say, can he bring some of that out on Saturday and show us a bit?
I'll have a word.
We might tell him later.
Well, yeah, we'll have a word.
So, who's your favourite player growing up?
My first ever favourite player was Ruud van Nistelrooy. Big United fan.
Oh, you United? Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember.
Another
grown.
one.
Cool.
Yeah, it's hard times to be a United fan at the moment, especially in the northwest, living up there. You know, Liverpool and City doing so well. It's keeping your head down under a little bit. But Ruud van Nistelrooy was my favourite first. I think I went to see my first ever.
Bit of a goal hanger like you.
Yeah, a little bit.
In fact, he was probably worse, I'd say.
Worse and better.
Worse and better. Yeah.
Who
In the box, my
yeah.
son.
had the better haircut?
Yeah, him definitely. But yeah, the first ever game I went to watch was in the Champions League against Stuttgart, and he did a knee slide in front of me after he scored, and I must have been about 7 or 8, and I was like, I went home that night and I went, oh, Dad, I want to be a footballer.
And you thought, what an interesting shaped head that man.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ruud Van, and then obviously theme of United players, Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I was very lucky to grow up in the era where we won everything. So
Well, that's been put to the past now. So.
absolutely. Yeah,
Strange times, though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
strange times.
Yeah,
strange times.
can't see if they've got much of an identity at the moment. Well, they
We
haven't
haven't, no. And I think football's in cycles. I think it's going to be a while before we're back on top. Maybe 10, 20 years, you never know. And that's just life of football. Football
Right,
fan.
this is
football
not a
clubs.
Manchester United
Yeah.
podcast.
No, it's not. I can talk about United all day. Don't make me
If you
start.
want to talk about Spurs, that's fine, but we're not doing that. So crack on.
No
Next
one's
question.
talking about Spurs.
Well, we've got here teacher's pet.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
do you wanna
So
explain
this
that
is the old.
Who's the teacher's
If you
pet?
need something off the gaffer, who do you send
send?
into the firing line?
Oh God, I think people would say me because I car school in with them.
Oh!
So there's always that. So yeah, I just car school in with the gaffer, so it could be me from a few of the lads. But I would say Tommy and Stubbsy as well. I think because they're senior players.
Yeah.
You'd probably
Got more
say,
chance of getting away with it.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
But I'd probably put myself in that category as well. Because,
Yeah.
I'm very honest.
But surprisingly, I'm one of the oldest in the change room. I'm 27. I'm one of the oldest. I think me and Stubbsy are both 27. So it's a young team. So yeah.
Is that would be the oldest then, 27?
Yeah, me and
So-
Stubbsy. I think Stubbsy's a few months older than me, but yeah.
Might have to check. Might have to fact check.
Yeah, I'd
that.
fact check
He
that.
might get.
Yeah.
He might get a bit shirty
Yeah.
about being called the oldest. Right.
He's looking to get in the changing room. Last one. So where do you think we're going to finish this season?
Do you want position or sort
gonna
of
go- there's 20
area?
You got
There's
two
20 teams in the league,
Okay.
and you've got to choose a number between 1 and 2.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I think we'll sneak in. I think we'll finish 6th.
Yeah, we'll see the
like
playoffs.
it.
Yeah, it's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
We spoke
I
before.
thought it was only 5, isn't it?
One.
The last playoff space, that's what you're
5.
saying.
5 or 6.
5
Whichever
or
one.
6. We're going to
6 will just miss
You'll
out.
say that we sneaked in 6th, and we got 6th, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
last.
Well, it would be 4 playoffs, like it would be 5. Wouldn't
Yeah.
it? So I think we'll sneak in late and we'll get the 5th. But we've got to sort that home format.
Got
Like
to
we've
sort it out.
discussed.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, agreed. And how good is it to be back? We spoke about it a little bit.
Very good.
Very
Very good. You know, enjoying my football.
Well, you're very lucky we had you back, frankly.
Oh,
I mean,
you
the
know,
way you
it's-
just like left us like
I
that.
wasn't too sure.
We were like jilted lovers, weren't we?
The
I
gaffer-
saw his face come back, and I was like, nah, not having that.
No, come on.
Not having that. Go on, do one.
And then I scored a couple of goals and
Yeah, I
football's
felt
fickle.
better after that.
Great to be back now.
Good luck. We're all mates again.
Well, look, Dan, we'd love to talk to you for longer, but you've got training, and we need to crack on.
Yeah.
So thanks very much for joining us
Thank
on
you
the
for having
on
me
the
on.
pod.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Enjoy your
Top
own
man.
gigs.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna